Let me give you the 5 main parts of life. If we all need help, it will probably be in one of these 5 areas, and I'm sure you can guess what they are. The first one is philosophy. Philosophy is simply what you know. Contrary to old sayings, what you don't know can hurt you, and ignorance is not bliss. It's very important to have the right philosophy because it guides your life. It's the key piece in the 5 major pieces of the life puzzle. Some things in life are minor and don't have much impact, but these 5 areas are very important. Philosophy, what you know, is crucial. So make sure you learn as much as you can. I know it's hard to read books, take classes, and get good grades, but while you're here, gather all the information you can. There's nothing worse than being stupid, right? So to set things straight, here's the first point you need to know, because what you don't know will impact your financial future over the next few years. Missing out on a book or information will make a difference in your investments and wealth in the coming months and years. Philosophy, or what you know, is where everything starts. I've divided philosophy into 3 parts. The first part is the basic starting out philosophy. Babies begin processing information immediately. For example, they learn that cold is bad and warm is good, that being hungry is awful and food is great. Babies start gathering information and reacting to it right from the start. So our philosophy begins early as we collect information and respond to it. Next is expanded philosophy. At least enough philosophy to be gainfully employed and offer a value to society and find your place in the marketplace. Be a reasonable, decent human being. Expanded philosophy. To become wealthy, powerful, sophisticated, influential, and unique, you need refined philosophy. This means studying more, reading more books, taking extra classes, and thinking deeply. It involves testing ideas, debating, and discussing. These extra efforts expand your understanding and enrich your life. Many people avoid these challenges because they seem difficult or time-consuming. But once you begin, you'll find these skills immensely rewarding. Intellectual discovery leads to wealth, happiness, and a fulfilling life. Our philosophy comes from many sources. Teaching, the people we meet, the books we read, and the classes we attend contribute a lot to our beliefs. A big part of our philosophy comes from these influences. In another series, we explored 3 important questions. One of the big questions was, who am I spending time with? Question number 2 is important. What impact are they having on me? This includes where they are leading me, what they are encouraging me to read, think, and say. Most importantly, it's about what kind of person they are shaping me into becoming. Influence is crucial in shaping our philosophy. It affects how we think, speak, form ideas, and consider values. Understanding these aspects is vital. Our knowledge, our minds, how we think, and how we process ideas and information are all significant. Ideas are essentially information taking shape. The process of our minds, thinking, knowing, and processing ideas determines a major part of the 5 pieces of life's puzzle philosophy. Now, when we learn something, we do something very important, we evaluate it. We mentally weigh its importance. We might not assign a number consciously, but if we think something is very important, we'll likely act on it immediately. If we think it's not very important, we might ignore it. Evaluating is crucial. In leadership training, a key word we learn is perception, trying to understand the value and importance of something. Where does its value lie? How valuable is it? How important is it? Is there something I might be missing at first glance? Is there more beneath the surface? What are the inner workings of it? What is behind it? What is its origin? These questions help us understand the value of ideas when we evaluate information. Now, here's what's important: having reliable mental scales. Imagine if your way of processing information was slightly off, and you consistently misjudge things. Would that affect your life? Absolutely. Over 10 years, even a small error can make a big difference. Here's a key phrase to remember: life accumulates. We either accumulate debt or value. We either gather regrets or build equity. Now, we all face a choice between 2 kinds of pain: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. I recommend choosing discipline, especially mental discipline, to refine your ideas. It requires effort and determination, but it's a small price to pay to avoid regret later on. Regret can be very heavy, while discipline is lighter. So if you embrace the early efforts of discipline, thinking to refine your ideas, you won't miss out on important questions like those about society, government, taxes, religion, life, money, business, your own worth, future origins, destiny, opportunities, and possibilities. Ignoring these questions means missing out on potential treasures in your life in the months and years ahead. This is crucial. What we think about and ponder shapes our lives. It's like setting the sails of a boat. Our thoughts determine where we'll end up. So ask yourself, where are my thoughts leading me? Some things you can be relaxed about, but these important questions shouldn't be taken lightly. Your philosophy guides your path. The big question is where? Now, emotions are a big part of the 5 pieces how I feel. There are many ways to feel. For example, if they don't pay well, I won't come early or stay late at work. That's one way to feel, a choice of attitude. Do you think this attitude would affect your life over the next 5 years? Definitely. You can't avoid the long-term impact of your attitude. So it's important to ask yourself, how am I feeling? And is my attitude helping me stay on course or leading me off track? Changing your attitude isn't simple. It's not easy to find guidance on how to do it. Where should you look? How can we start thinking in a way that improves our attitude, giving us a better chance for future success instead of future regrets? Here's another example. Regardless of what they pay, I always arrive early and stay late to invest in my own future. That's a different attitude toward the same job. Why do different people have different attitudes? That's a mystery of the mind. Each person must choose for themselves. Education helps us make informed choices. Without knowing the consequences, it's easy to adopt the wrong attitude and fail to discipline ourselves toward the right one. So a significant part of our life is influenced by how we feel. Quick list about the feelings that affect our lives. Firstly, it's about how you view the past. It's tempting to see the past as a burden rather than a learning experience. It's easy to let past mistakes, losses, and challenges overwhelm you instead of using them to learn. How you feel about all these past experiences, hurts, failures, and disappointments will significantly impact your future in your life. One of the biggest factors influencing your life is how you feel about the future. Our lives are shaped by 2 main things: cost and potential. It's difficult to invest effort and resources if you can't see the potential outcome. Nowadays, young people struggle because they can't see what lies ahead. But everyone would gladly make sacrifices if they knew exactly what tomorrow, next week, next month, or next year would bring. If we were certain about the future and confident it would work out well, we wouldn't hesitate to invest. Uncertainty about the future makes everyone hesitate. To support young people today, we need to do 2 things: show them the potential and help them make the necessary efforts. We can make sacrifices if we know what we're working towards. Let's say there's an amazing opportunity. What would you do? You'd do whatever it takes. Would you study hard? Stay up late to work hard? Dive deep into challenging ideas and disciplines if the opportunity was worth it? Absolutely. But who wants to do these things if the outcome isn't clear? Here's the 3rd point. It's about how you feel about others. Your attitude towards society, your country, your state, your city, your community, family, workplace, and company. Understanding and valuing other people is crucial for a fulfilling life. What makes life good? It's how we feel about each other. You can't achieve success alone. So having a genuine appreciation for others is essential. It takes everyone to build a society, a country, a community. Remember, you can't succeed alone. It takes all of us to make any one of us successful. Appreciating everyone helps us all do better together. When you value society as a whole, you realize that we need each other to create a thriving community. We depend on each other's ideas and inspiration. Once you grasp this appreciation for everyone, you'll see your own potential and opportunities soar within our collective framework. Now, here's the most important thing: how you feel about yourself. This is crucial. Recognizing your self-worth is where progress begins. How much value do you see in yourself? Imagine if you had all the skills, took extra classes, and put in the effort. What could you achieve? What true potential could you reach? It's a great exercise to think about what kind of value you could bring. What impact could you have in your career, family, home, relationships, and life experiences? Are you valuable enough to address the areas in your life that aren't fully functioning? If you're operating at 20% now, what could you accomplish with the remaining 80%? Do you have the knowledge, worth, and experience to succeed? Once you grasp how valuable you are and understand your self-worth, it opens up a whole new perspective on life. Attitude plays a major role in shaping our lives. First, there's philosophy, what we believe. Second, there's attitude, how we feel. Third, there's activity, what we do. These 3 things affect our lives significantly. Understanding this is crucial if you want to impact and support others. Here's the key: success comes from taking action. You have to actually do things. Being active is a top priority in life. To make the most of what we have, our actions matter a lot. Now, here's an important question. What do you think about activity? What about hard work? What about working long hours or full days? How much effort should you put in? How much time should you spend? Everyone needs to develop their own views on these things. Let's think about it. What's a good balance between rest and work? The Old Testament suggests 6 days of work and 1 day of rest. That's a philosophy about how to balance activity. You might think that's old-fashioned, and that's okay. But everyone needs a philosophy about activity because it shapes your entire life. Ignoring this is not wise. Here's a good hint: when you're not at peace, rest becomes something you need, not just something to aim for. The purpose of life is to create and achieve. It's about being productive and using our time, opportunities, thoughts, and energy to see what we can accomplish. That's what life is really about: discovering what you're capable of. Now, the doing, you've got to have a philosophy on how much time you're going to spend doing. And I've decided that enterprise is better than ease. If you rest too much, the garden gets overrun with weeds during summer, so you can't rest too long. Life keeps moving, and if you neglect it, challenges will overpower the things that matter. That's why everyone needs a philosophy about how they approach their activities. An old saying advises, whatever you find to do it with all your strength. That's a philosophy. You might say, I'm getting by with half my effort. Well, that's fine, but you have to decide your own personal approach to activity. This philosophy suggests giving your all. Do you think there's value in that? It's up to you to weigh and decide. Evaluate it for yourself and make your own choices. How much effort should you put into your work? There's an old story that says everyone should learn from ants, especially those who tend to be lazy. Here are 3 key lessons from ants. 1. Ants never give up. This is a good philosophy. 2. Ants plan ahead. They think about winter during the summer. This is an important lesson. You shouldn't only think about enjoying summer, you must prepare for tough times ahead. 3. Ants think about summer during winter. Even in the cold months, ants anticipate warmer days. This shows a positive attitude and outlook. In leadership training, we teach that average people count down to the end of work, while successful people look forward to starting their tasks. Successful people are eager to get things done and make progress in their lives through action and effort. Now, here's the final lesson from the ants. How much does an ant gather during summer to prepare for winter? The answer: as much as possible. This is an incredible philosophy, doing all you possibly can. How much should you do? You need to decide your own philosophy on this. Our actions are guided by our thoughts, evaluations, decisions, and feelings. Here's the best advice I received when I was 25 years old from my teacher. Do all you can. For example, how many books should you read in the next 6 months? Read as many as you can fit into your schedule, because missing just one book, like Think and Grow Rich, could mean missing out on a treasure in your life. How much effort should you put in? Consider the ant philosophy. Now, what would you say to someone who asks, I make $50,000 a year. Isn't that enough? They might say, my kids are doing fine and I can pay my bills. Here's my answer: yes. $50,000 a year is enough if it's truly your best effort. When we talk about enough, we're not just talking about a specific amount of money. Enough means giving your absolute best effort. If you have the potential to earn $500,000 a year but settle for $50,000, then you're not reaching your full potential. It's not just about the money difference, it's about pushing yourself to your fullest extent. That's what matters most. To feel truly satisfied with yourself, you need to stretch yourself to your maximum capabilities mentally, physically, and in terms of your potential and possibilities. What should you do? Give it your all. How many books should you read? Read as many as you can. How many skills should you learn? Learn as many skills as you can. How many people should you connect with? Connect with as many people as you can. How many activities should you be involved in? Be involved in as many activities as you can. Why not aim for the maximum? Here's a thought: how tall can a tree grow? Trees grow to their maximum height. So why do humans sometimes settle for less than their full potential? The simple answer is that we have the ability to choose. This is what gives us the dignity of being human, the power of choice. So we have two options. Let me explain them to you. Here they are. You can choose to be everything you were meant to be, or you can choose to be only a part of that. This is a philosophical conversation. You have the choice to aim lower than your full potential, or you can decide to reach for everything you're capable of. I'm suggesting that you think about what striving for your full potential could do for your life in the next 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years if you refine your approach to action and go after everything you're capable of achieving. So the important thing isn't how much you achieve in terms of money. If you're doing your absolute best and earning $10,000 a year, that's considered enough. And if you're doing your best and making $1 million a year, that's also enough. Enough isn't about the difference between $10,000 and $1 million. It's simply about giving your best effort. Here's what I believe really affects people's minds doing less than you're capable of. This can cause a lot of emotional harm. When you settle for less, when you don't push yourself as much as you could, when you approach tasks with less enthusiasm than you have, it can damage your sense of self and how you see yourself. But here's the flip side. When you start challenging yourself and pushing beyond your limits, it's not just the achievements you gain that matter the most. The greatest value comes from how you feel about yourself. It's not what you get that defines your worth, it's who you become. Part of personal growth is discovering all that you're capable of achieving, contributing, starting, reaching, and influencing. Now, when you commit to thinking deeply about your attitude and actions, that's what we call the potential for changing your life. Number 1 is your philosophy, number 2 is your attitude, number 3 is your actions, and number 4 is the results you achieve. Results are what matter most. The goal in life is twofold: to see what you can become and what you can accomplish. The essence of life is becoming skilled enough to achieve meaningful things: influence, productivity, activity, and results in economic, social, personal, and spiritual aspects. Results are crucial because they show the outcomes of your efforts, like the harvest in fall that reflects the miracle of your work, the seeds you planted, the seasons, the rain, and how you adapted to changes. Ultimately, life is about discovering what you can achieve with your mind, skills, hands, thoughts, possibilities, and abilities. The key is to explore what you can accomplish, because achieving results is the heart of the matter. Here's an important question in life: should we expect ourselves to significantly improve our values within a reasonable time frame? The answer is, of course, yes. Shouldn't we aim to make progress? How many years would you want your child to spend in 4th grade? About 1 year, right? It wouldn't make sense to give them 4 years for such small progress. Now, shouldn't we keep asking ourselves these questions throughout our lives? I believe it's crucial to make substantial advancements, like going from 5 to 10 within a reasonable time frame. Remember, life is like a numbers game. For instance, consider how many books you should read to be well prepared to discuss important life issues over the next decade. It's essential to have a solid understanding across a wide range of topics to engage in meaningful debates. This isn't just about getting by, it's about achieving higher learning for success, leadership, and influencing others effectively in the future. Therefore, it's vital to periodically review these numbers, whether they represent skills, knowledge, capabilities, or achievements after a reasonable period. Over time, things tend to veer off course if not monitored closely. Results are what matter most, so we need to ensure we're on track and continually progressing. We must confront challenges head-on rather than settling for an unfulfilling life with little progress or rewards. We need to respond appropriately to a lack of results, don't we? We should acknowledge it, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we feel strongly about it? Shouldn't we use strong and clear words to express our point? Lack of results. Results are what matter most. If you live in a country like America with banks, capital, money, churches, sermons, libraries, books, education, training, classes, rallies, and inspiration, shouldn't you be financially secure by the age of 40? If you're not, something must be wrong. The situation isn't right. There's something wrong. Now, there's nothing wrong with the country, the community, the libraries and books, the churches and sermons, the schools and teachers, or what's happening around you. There's nothing wrong with you either. But there might be something wrong with your philosophy. Perhaps someone gave you the wrong plan. It's easy to end up with the wrong philosophy and make mistakes that add up to very little instead of something valuable. One of the main reasons we look at results is to figure out what might be wrong with our approach. Maybe it's the way we're doing things that's leading to poor results. Many people work hard but don't make much progress. In leadership skills, we teach that being busy doesn't always mean you're achieving something. It's important to focus on real accomplishment. It's easy to keep busy and end up going in circles instead of moving forward. So we examine results to see if there might be some issue with how we're doing things. Here's where we might need to focus our efforts on our actions, because it takes effort to make things happen. Taking action can be challenging, like going through labor pains, but it's not supposed to be easy. Things that are truly valuable often require sacrifice. We only truly value something when we've invested in it. If something comes too easily, we might not see its true worth. Real success is valuable, but achieving it often means putting in all your effort and sometimes experiencing setbacks. So when you do succeed, you appreciate it more because you understand both the challenges and the rewards. So we check our actions, and when we review the outcomes, maybe our attitude is the issue. Perhaps it's how we feel about things. It's possible we've been influenced into thinking a certain way about society, taxes, government, churches, education, and community, our feelings about all that. If the results aren't what we want, one major place to examine is our philosophy. Where did I go wrong in refining my thoughts? Because my thinking has led me here. Maybe I need to change my thoughts, the books I read, the classes I take, the lessons I learn, and how I make decisions correcting any errors in judgment. If I were to go back and fix some mistakes in my thinking, do you think that would improve the next 3 years? The answer is yes. It would bring significant new benefits and excitement simply by making some adjustments in my philosophy. So we spent a lot of time reviewing results to identify mistakes here, here, and here. Here's number 5. And you might have already guessed what it is: lifestyle. Lifestyle is simply how you choose to live, how you shape your life. It's important to realize that some people have mastered earning money but haven't figured out how to enjoy life. They may have studied economics but overlooked the art of living well, leaving them financially stable but not necessarily happy. Lifestyle is about discovering ways to live uniquely. It's a skill and an art, just like economics. Learning to live well involves finding joy, pleasure, excitement, and appreciation in everyday life. It's something you study and practice intentionally. It doesn't happen by chance. Happiness isn't accidental, it's something you cultivate. Lifestyle isn't just about wealth or culture or sophistication, it's about the deliberate practice of living well and finding fulfillment.